What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and whatever time it is. So welcome back to yet another video with you, man. Immersionholic, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another online battle. Free divided to para overhaul mod for Total War Rome 2. And today, everybody, as you can see here and in the title of this video, we have the Saba taking on Macedon. We have a really cool historical alternative history recreation sort of thing going on, where basically the idea behind this is that Alexander did not die at his young age and instead has gone on ahead to invade the Saba deep in the Arabian Peninsula. I'm not in this battle. We have the Saba over here, who is being played by GIO D, and then we have Macedon somewhere out here, who is being played by Calogero. He is our Alexander the Great. And then GIO D is our Saba. I actually don't know of any real-life Saba leaders. Every time I play as them, I get Rashidun Caliphate vibes, so I'm just thinking of that era, which is far up into the future. But anyway, unfortunately, I can't share any of my replays that I've been in over the last few weeks because they aren't really watchable due to the Rome 2 update. Basically, some of my units will bug out and they'll run off to like the edge of the map, or they'll kind of just sit over here next to the battle and not do anything, even though in the actual battle they were very much active. So obviously it doesn't make sense to show you those replays, but we do have some more coming in, and I will try and find some time soon to get myself involved. But anyway, without any further ado, let's jump into checking out the Saba roster, and then we'll jump ahead to where we can see the Macedonian army. So, first off, the Saba. Over here on the far left hand flank, we got some Arabian spearmen. I know, shocking. 300 men in that particular unit, very nice, and it actually has an ammunition of 5. Very, very nice. We then have another unit next to it, so some pretty light spearmen on the flanks. Their front is some light archer spearmen as well, so that's going to help them get a little bit of extra range and protect themselves from cav. The next line is consisting of Arabian short swordsmen. Then in the middle we have the Sabaean champions. These guys are redonkulous. You might have heard me talk about the Lusitani bear warriors before. These guys are very, very similar. Don't have the armor piercing necessarily, but they have this super high attack. So they're still definitely shock troops, they're just not armor piercing shock troops. So we'll have to see if that will hinder them in today's battle. Then in the rear we've got a decent sized contingent of cavalry. We've got a single Arabian camel spearman here, and then 3 sets of the Arabian bodyguard cavalry. I'm not sure why you can recruit 3 of these still when it's a bodyguard unit. Most of the bodyguard units in DEI have been limited in custom battles now to be like just 1, so to be honest, I'd like to see that adjusted because these cavalry units are insanely powerful. Really, really nice. So 120 men each, speed of 8 with an armor of 38 is just insane. Melee attack of 10, defense of 17. It's like a hoplite on horseback, but really, really fast horseback. Kind of ridiculous, but really powerful. Nice selection by GIO. On the far right, he's got 2 more Arabian spearmen. Anyway, let's jump ahead to where we can see the Macedonian roster, and then we'll get into the battle. Okay, here we go. The Macedonians marching out of the valley here. Got 2 really tall hills on either side of them. We can see most of their army now, although we just lost a single unit there. So let's go over the majority of what we're seeing at least. They don't really have too many units hidden off to the side or anything, so we'll get a sense of their army. Got some Thessalian cavalry right here, another unit Thessalians. They are screened by some Thurio spears, and then shield bearing hoplites. Yeah, these are the hoplite variant. I thought it was the elite guard, never mind. Thracian warriors over here in the rear. Got some very levy Greek archers. Greek bronze shield pikemen, 1 unit there. 2nd unit here, and then I thought we had a 3rd somewhere. I think we have a 3rd like right here. I'll press play in a second and we'll see. In the rear, Greek infantry, levy unit basically. Thurio sword. Sarissa lancer unit. Thurio swordsmen, some more Greek infantry, and Thracian warriors. Let's press play while we continue watching. I think we'll see more units over here. But yeah, Calogero, I know he likes to bring more roleplay-ish based armies, so that's probably why he's bringing, for example, pikemen. Very, very hard to use in an online battle. Yeah, there's our third Greek Bronze Shield Pike unit. Where's our general? I'm not seeing him just yet. Although I thought I saw him. I think he's probably gonna be over here on the right on position of honor. I know Calogero likes to do that as well, as do several other players actually. Always nice to have a little bit of role play in your armies. This isn't in a tournament or anything, it's just some friends having fun. Got another Greek infantry unit back there, I think. Here's the Agema, the elite guard on the position of honor. Kind of like a shock pike unit is what these are being referred to lately. Oh yeah, here comes some extra infantry. Agrianian Axemen, only the one unit though. Sacred Squadron of the General. Fantastic unit, but it is a shock cav unit, and that is a Thracian warrior at the back. No, we got that one. Okay, so as you can see, a big mixture of units. Some hoplites were hanging out here on the left-hand side. Furio spears as well, some archers. And then a mixture of some decent swords like the Furio swords, but then some terrible swords like the Greek infantry. So I think this is going to be a very even matchup with these armies. The Macedon has more elite troops than the Saba as like a faction, but the Saba have cheaper units and they're very cost effective. Not a massive variety for them, but the units that they do have can get the job done. Like these Sabaean champions, they're going to be terrifying to Calogero, as will the Arabian cavalry. Cav advantage, I would definitely say, is in favor of GIO. Sarissa Lancers and Thessalian Cav, Sacred Squadron, they're all excellent Cav, but they're all shock Cav. He has no melee cavalry. So that means he doesn't have any Cav that he can kind of just leave in combat, and they'll be fine. So Calogero just kind of going into this is going to be under the thumb pretty heavily. Formations are interesting too. Saba going to essentially a two-line segment with the cavalry here in the rear, ready to support in either direction wherever needed. I like that. Interesting move from GIO. Usually I see him sending out his cavalry to harass the enemy, so nice change of tactics here. Could be interesting to see how he pulls that off. As for the Saba units themselves, I think he has far more flexible troops. And these Arabian short swords, I don't expect them to get a massive amount of kills, but I think they'll take a while to die. They do have an armor of 20 and they're 300 men per unit. Bit of a shame they don't have the javelin in it, but that's okay. Swordsmen are on the flanks, ready to help overwhelm the infantry. GIO with a slight hill here, but it's not really going to give him that much of an advantage, to be honest. And these troops back here aren't even hidden. He moves his army slightly forward as the Macedonians also come forward, as he shifts Sabaean champions to the left. Interesting choice here. Macedonian army marching forward quite quickly in a very short formation. You can see instantly before we even get into the fight, like just comparing these two lines, the Saba do outflank them immediately, and the second line is going around the left already, so we'll see what happens. Pikemen have gaps in them, intentionally, but of course always going to be a bit risky. Calogero looks like he's about to give some charge orders here on the left hand side. Yep. Macedonians are wasting no time, not interested in any skirmishing. Comes the Furio spears. Cavalry from GIO is coming around to support. Yeah, both flanks kind of just split in half with their cav. Here comes the cavalry charge. Thessalian cav look like they're coming in. Oh no, they stopped their charge last second. They were going to attack the Arabian spearmen, but they've just cancelled their movement, potentially because they moved away. Uh-oh, got a bit of a mess here on the left-hand side of the Macedonian line. GIO pulls back his right-hand flank, looking to be far more defensive on the right, because on the left is where most of his Sabaean champions are. Sabaean. I say Sabaean. Probably incorrect, but I don't mean any offense, of course. Calogero does pull back his right slightly, but the Saba are very fast moving, and Calogero really is a lot more stationary with his men. At least he'll have to be with the pikemen and the hoplites. Speaking of which, these pikes right here, they're getting smashed by some, oh my gosh, by some projectiles here. Looks like they got arrows coming in against them. Woo. Sacred Squadron right here charging in. Macedonian generals not going to tolerate these pikemen getting chewed up. Followed up by Agriani Axemen, some Thracian warriors, elite guard. Some very elite units coming over here on the right here. But here comes the Sabaean champions. Terrifying unit, Arabian bodyguard cav also looking to come get involved. Meanwhile, the main center line of the Macedonians is very spread out. Not a lot of support going on, but that's okay for now. He's just trying to hold the main line, I would assume. Shield bearers taking some casualties. Oh no, they're not yet. He dealt some casualties actually. That's surprising, but yeah. Calogero's main line is going to get chewed up by those archers. Nice selection for archers by GIO. Very good counter to the pikes. All the action so far happening out here to the eastern side. I think we got more Saba units than Macedonian, but Saba units are just so good. Whereas the Macedonian units are a bit of a mixture. Look at this charge coming in. Sarissa Lancers look like they might be trying to get involved here. Through this little alleyway. Oh, no, they do oh, interesting little shift right there. Get a rear charge against the Arabian short swords, but it wasn't very clean. As a result, sorry, the Arabian short swords start charging forward. Looks like they're going to wrap around these pikemen. And now these pikes aren't even in pike phalanx anymore. In fact, it looks like all of them are out of phalanx formation. Wonder if that was intentional. Could have been. No, Warcry ability didn't happen. The Saba champions all the way out here. Got to be careful with those pikes out of formation. It's okay to do it, you just got to make sure you put them back in. Meanwhile, this mess here on the eastern side continues. Both generals clashing with each other, supported by infantry. The Saba definitely in favor in that engagement. Same over here, Sabaean champions chomping through the Macedonian infantry. The Agrianians, they're getting some kills, but they're taking serious losses too. And they're only backed up by... Thurio swords are okay. Oh, the elite guard is here. They're doing quite well. A lot of cav charges coming in from Calogero. Not the cleanest charge, but it will help. Might be able to rout that unit. Meanwhile, the right-hand side of the Saba, very spread out. Gonna lose a unit over here, but they still have many men out here. So it looks a little bit deceptive, as if the Macedonians are doing really well right here, but to be honest, that's like 4 units that it took to take out that one Arabian short sword. It's nice to take it out, but yeah, look at these units from the Saba going to be trying to push forward very quickly. These units are at risk of getting caught off guard. Look at that. Oh, is it going to happen? Kind of looks like it. Yeah, they're going to try to run away, but it's too late now. These are Arabian bodyguard cav going to be in a charge animation shortly. These Macedonian units, despite having insanely high speeds, they look like they're about to get chased down. Arabian spearmen have somehow gotten behind the Macedonian line. They're going to come over and stop that. Shut that down real quickly. Meanwhile, the main line is not a main line. This is an absolute mess over here. Again, Saba left-hand flank really overwhelming the Macedonians, but there is some elite units that are holding really well, like this elite guard. Doing excellent job. Such a good unit. Thurio swords are getting chopped up. Agrianians, yeah, they're not doing good enough either. Cretan archers as well. Oops, I must have missed that earlier. My bad, everybody. Trying to target the general of the Saba side, but yeah, the Thessalian cavalry is getting caught out. Thurio spears are coming over here to try and help, but GIO will just pull away. He should be fine, and just like that, Thessalian cavalry taken out with only 17 kills. Nowhere near cost effective enough. Really tough. Looks like the Macedonian general might come to try and get help, but now he's going to be intercepted, so he pulls away. What a mess. Oh my goodness. Saba left, still doing quite well. However, these elite guard is holding their ground so severely. An amazing unit. They're doing really well considering they were going up against the Saba champions, but the Sabaean champions don't have any armor pens, so that's probably why they're holding so well. However, look at this. Very nice. 2 units gone from the Macedonian side. Saba general getting the job done. And meanwhile, look at this. Macedonian cavalry is just getting picked apart right now. The general, he's going okay. He's getting some serious kills, but he's taking some losses as well. Looks like he's trying to get away from the Saba general, but oh no, not good for him. Excellent for GIO. Very nice maneuverability with his cavalry there. Gonna bring in the camel riders as well. Devastating. Very nice by GIO. Pikemen are trying to hold out, but yeah, this battle has just completely been against the pikemen. The pikemen have been really caught out of position, and like that, Macedonian general's gone. He's got a rout. The intimidate and warcry abilities coming in from the Saba general. Really good timing on that. There was a rally popped by the Macedonian, but it's too little too late. General might come back from routing, but in the meantime, look at his army. It's getting picked apart completely. Three swords Agrianians are gone. Oh my gosh, Sabaean champions chomped on them. Meanwhile, the elite guard is taking on some more Sabaean champions from the rear. Although they're starting to die off now. They've been fighting for a while, getting tired. Macedonians trying to snipe Saba general. Only way they can bring this back, it seems, but it seems like the Saba can handle it. And look, they're going to once again catch out another cavalry unit of the Macedonians. Oh, devastating charge. That is delicious. Saba general getting close to 200 kills now. Yep, bye-bye. Macedonian cav has just not been all that useful. The general did amazing. Did really nice, but just the rest of the cav is just kind of picked apart. Even out here, it looks like the last unit, Thessalian cavalry, only has 12 kills. Arabian spearmen are shattered out here too. Interesting, but it's too late. Macedonian cav is done. There is still an equal amount of units on the field, roughly. Saba starting to outnumber the Macedonians. But the Saba cavalry is still here, and they're amazing. Look at that. Oh, Macedonian general did come back from routing. He's still alive, but he just got a seriously heavy charge by the Arabian bodyguard. Yep, he's shattered. He's gone. He's probably dead. Macedon does get a bit of a break with the Arab camel spearmen retreating. Really, now is the time where the Macedonians really need to get with each other, whether it's, you know, a bit of a box or if it's like a front line with like a few units in the rear to protect. But they're just kind of getting pulled apart. Even over here, this pikeman unit, like, they're not really going to accomplish anything on their own. There is the elite guard, 264 kills, disgusting, really nice. Some of these pike units are actually getting kills. The shield bearers over here, not even in hoplite formation, but they don't need to be to do really well. Excellent unit. Can really see the cost effectiveness of the elite units coming in big in this battle for the Macedonians, but look at this now. They're surrounded, getting picked apart. Arabian cavalry is just too good. It just can't be stopped. There's a couple of elite units left for the Macedonians, but within just about a span of a minute there, we had about 3 or 4 units of Macedonians rout all at once, and that has sealed the deal. The Macedonians obviously completely got to lose here, but see here how they're in a tight position, relatively tight. It's not about boxing up necessarily, it's just about getting close to each other. Very nice micromanagement by GIO D, but I mean the flank was also completely open. Macedonians are done for. It's GG's. Wow, what a chaotic battle. But somehow the failings of Alexander the Great does not conquer Arabia. GG's to both gentlemen. Really well played by both sides. Tricky battle. Definitely not what I expected it to be like. Again, thank you so much to GIO for sending in the replay. Let's very quickly go to the statistics screen and then we'll end it there. Here we are at the statistics screen, everyone, and we can see pretty quickly the difference in both armies. The cavalry of the Saba just did fantastic. 2 units getting almost 450 kills put together, another one at 100. The camels only got 58, but the big thing that the camels do is scare enemy cavalry, sorry, not elephants. And as we can see, the Macedonian cav, 2 units getting a combined total of like, what's that, under 50? Nowhere near good enough. At least not against the Saba. You need your cav to beat theirs, and then if you could have won that cavalry fight, I could definitely see the Macedonian army coming out on top. The Sabaean champions would have done some big numbers, like they have done really well for the most part here. But yeah, it's just the Macedonian cav couldn't get the flanks wrapped up, and they couldn't stay unified really. We saw a lot of them getting picked off on their own. And the Arabian cavalry, bodyguard cav, they're just so good. You just gotta do some nice charges with them, get them into a melee grind, like how GIO let him grind down the Thessalian cav that are on their own. And those GG's. I'm surprised he even got this Sarissa unit to get 124 kills. It's actually a testament to Caligaro's micromanagement. He did relatively well with that. But again, you want your cav to be getting 150 plus kills. The general did really nice, but 1 out of 4 units getting the number of kills you want just isn't good enough, unfortunately. The pikemen, I don't know how they got so many kills. GIO D did really nice to outflank them. However, even these low tier cheap pikes, they can really cut down lightly armored units like these Arabian short swords. Some of the short swords, sure, they got amazing kills, 200, 300. Although I'm sure some of that is from fleeing units, but man, wow. The Arabian spearmen really didn't do well. At least kills wise, they did help out as a deterrent against the enemy cavalry. Absolutely, but yeah, that's kind of surprising. The archer spearmen did really nice, both getting almost 100 kills each. Fantastic unit to have, but the Sabaean champions combined with the Arabian bodyguard cav, just a very deadly mix. And when you have these sort of swarm units, these 300-man swords with 20 armor, which isn't anything to scoff at, it's quite respectable, it's going to be really hard to deal with that. So hats off to both guys. You both did a fantastic, as always. Really interesting battle to see here. But yeah, the Saba swarm was able to just hold off the Macedonian massacre. But anyway, GG's to both gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one.